scenes footage and such, right? Hey, everybody. Um, we do live behind the scenes footage as well. So we'll do the intro, and ultimately, for the viewing pleasure, it'll be cleaned up. But we like to have like the behind the scenes footage too, because people think like we come on and everything's perfect, and so it's like, no, this is the real world. This is how it really happens. This is what it looks like. But I'm excited to meet you and see you.
I'm so excited to meet you too. I'm sorry. This is so annoying.
It looked like it spent all the way around. That is hilarious.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what do I do?
Hmm?
I'm trying to think. I'm like, what do I do? What's the best move? Just take it.
Wait. Hey, sir.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
All right.
Good to
How's
see you.
everything?
Maintaining, us. I was just telling her, we hit click soon as we all touch in, and then we go back
All
and
right.
clean up the video for the the site and all of the things that we share it on. But hey, Angie.
Coffee with Rose in the building, right?
I mean. And I'm gonna turn this down so we're live on my phone too, just in case the people are talking to us. Okay, so hey everybody. Nope. I'm gonna put on our little, our thingy in our intro. You can tell it's been a minute since
Hilarious.
we've been here. Huh? Hilarious. Okay, guys. So hold on one second. All right, Angie. Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Nay Thompson, and I am the publisher and editor in chief for RYZE Magazine. I have with me, of course, MC Nice,
Hey, what's up?
the editor, the managing editor. I can't talk today, and Miss Angie Rose. How are you, ma'am? Why can't we hear you now? Oh, now we can. There you go. I guess you got to get close to it or speak up. You have to speak up because you're too far away.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
There you go. Yeah. If you say so, yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How's it going though?
Going good. I just got to Phoenix actually. I took a drive down to work on some music and having a good morning.
That's awesome. That's dope. Okay, so you'll definitely have to share. Isn't it exclusive? We're gonna get some new information that the people don't know already.
I'm just creating, just really falling in love with making music again and exploring.
Yeah, that's the most vague answer on the planet. You are in Phoenix. Or is it somebody you working with that we know? You know
Right.
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
like,
Or you
who's
just
this?
decide to go to the Grand Canyon and record a new album? Like, what's really going on?
So, this trip, I'm not sure who would know who, but there's Poetics is a really dope producer.
Who don't know Poetics?
Okay, so that's a win. And who else is here? Well, Oswin Benjamin is actually
I
around this.
know Oswin too. That's yeah, okay.
It's a
All
good.
right. You
Things are
digging
good.
in the crates right now. You digging in the crates.
Just enjoying music again and taking
Yeah.
a break.
Look, and now
Oh,
you
okay.
definitely have to share about again. You said that twice. Enjoying music again. What's that like? Was it that you needed to walk away from it for a moment, or what does that mean?
I needed to walk closer to God as the creator of music, as the savior, right? Like my best friend. I was doing the thing that my best friend gave me without talking to my best friend often.
Mhm.
And eventually I feel that I just wanted to sound more like him again. And since I've been in that process, I'm like falling in love with creating again.
That's dope. I love it. I love it. Definitely can understand it. I think that's good for all of us, right? Because we sometimes get inundated with the things that we have to do with whatever it is we're doing. And it's like, Jesus, I love you. I read my scripture this morning, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I certainly understand that because sometimes it gets real hectic in our schedules that we just have to push pause, like whatever, because right now I need to spend this time with him because he gonna make it right regardless.
Yeah,
So I definitely get
literally.
it. I definitely get it. I
Yeah.
get
Yeah. So enjoying music again. Well, How about this? Take us back to take us to the origin of Angie Rose. You know what I mean? Like, how did you become you?
Uh, a lot of God, hard working, like, right? So my parents are pastors, um, but my big brother like loved the streets, and he was who I looked up to, and so I learned from two different worlds. My sisters were born and raised in like the My Haven Project, so whenever we went to that side, I got a different view of the world. I'm raised in Co-op City, I broken here. And God just weaved the story together really beautifully, I think. All the variables, the small things around my life kind of made me love hip hop, love instruments, growing up in church, melodies, choirs, full sounds, that's all Jesus stuff. But cadence, beat, grit, like street, that's all my brother in the Bronx. Um, the fun is Puerto Rico. I fell in love with Puerto Rico. God just really he's taking everything, and I'm just like, I'm gonna just give it all to you and put it back in the music as best as you see fit.
Wow, you from the boogie down, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So what? Yeah. So you found Christ in the Bronx. How was that hard to like maintain? Like being, because New York can be really challenging.
Yeah.
So how was that hard? How was it maintaining your sanity as far as being a Christian, but at the same time having to survive on the streets?
Sure. Well, I was blessed. I have my family went through a lot more than I did. I'm the baby of 10.
I was getting ready to ask you, where are you in the number? But okay. So
I'm
there's 10 of you. Wow.
So I was raised in a different predicament financially. We just
Mm.
it was just a little better. It wasn't a lot, like I wasn't in a mansion or nothing, but different neighborhood, cars, things that they just didn't have. Like my dad always had his car, my mom always had hers or something like it. No matter if it was a hoopty when we started, but you understand, we always had a different life. Um, So I would say God again. It's like the easiest answer, but we went through real life stuff. My niece and my nephew passed away when I was 15, and they were both the kids of pastors. So the question started young: Why, God? That doesn't make sense. We serve you, like we love you. Woo, woo, woo. And my sister was the one that lost her child. She was like, "Why not? Why not us? What makes us different? Us like in the world, we're gonna pass through tribulations, but we get to learn, and we get to find healing." And then they started to give healing, and that inspired my faith. And
Mm.
all the variables, God is really good.
So did you're from Puerto Rico, right? Or
Yeah.
your parents are from Puerto Rico?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
what part?
My dad's Manatí. My mom was Rio Grande. Uh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, my
I
family.
the one that
My
raised as is
Oh, really? You put a little swag in that.
you
Yeah, my
got
family's from Ponce, and
it.
my great grandfather's from Mayagüez.
That's lit.
You know what I mean? He was actually, I think, the mayor of Mayagüez
That's
at
awesome.
one point. So yeah, so I come from like a little Puerto Rican
That's how it
royalty.
goes.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
So
Puerto Rican royalty. Look, I'm Puerto Rican too, but I don't know where my people from. But I'm
yeah,
gonna
we're gonna have
figure
to
it.
find out.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure it out.
That's
Yeah,
lit.
my dad is. But
Okay.
So yeah, oh yeah. So you go. I've seen that you go to Puerto Rico
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
You actually shot some stuff in Puerto Rico we have yet to see, or you might have been sneaking it out. I don't know, but I think it might have been one joint I seen. But you've been going to Puerto Rico for different reasons,
Sure.
and you have a foundation.
Yeah. So a little bit of both, and that's the new kind of motto I'm in. Like a little bit of both. I know a lot of my friends that really love Jesus that are dying to do music, but they focus on doing ministry, and they're like, man, but I want to figure out this dichotomy. And I'm like, well, okay, that's my prayer now, God. I want to do both always. So if we go to shoot a music video, it's like, how do we give back? How do we serve somebody? How do we, like, whatever it is that we're doing, how do we make sure that we also do the gospel? But going to Puerto Rico was really for, well, I fell in love again. People needed help, and I wanted to see God do something, and so we took a risk, and God allowed for us to do. We opened 9 distribution centers. At one
Wow.
point, all running. Now we have maybe 2 still running. And people's lives were changed and connections were made. We were able to go back and rebuild a camp, completely reface a camp, which was beautiful. And fans, La Familia, they went and they got baptized, some for the first time, and they experienced Jesus. And, you know, it's just watching God weave it all together is really fun.
That's extremely dope. Like that you've been putting in that work. I think you were recognized by FEMA for that.
Yeah.
For the work you did. And a lot of people don't understand just how significant that actually is to be recognized by a government agency for the work that you're putting in.
Well, my biggest prayer is that the relationships continue so that we can keep doing it.
Yeah, but at the same time, you become a beacon for those that had no idea that they can do such a thing.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I think that's the dope part of it, about the inspiring part. So you sing and rap.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Was it always rap, or did it or was it sing first? Which one came first?
The chicken or the egg?
Right.
I don't know. Again, it's the church story, right? I grew up in church. Not my mom. My mom didn't sing a ton. My second mom from my Guadilla was always singing. She never stopped, and she raised me. My brother. So it's like, again, I from birth, all I remember is both, like, intriguingly.
That's dope.
Yeah,
when did you start? Like, how
yeah,
old were you?
exactly. Yeah.
So, okay, I guess singing. I used to sing in church, like, what? It was like a vibe. Anyway, or something, and they called me up to sing, and I freestyled something. I was like, I freestyled Alibaba from Aladdin, Prince Ali.
That's hilarious.
I know what to do, and that I love Melinda, who is the woman that I say taught me how to sing, and like that I always talk about. She passed away, but she gave me the voice, the music. So probably since 3, I wrote my first rap that I can remember and spit. I was like maybe 7, 8.
Wow. That's dope. I wanted to do that. Like, I was big on salt and pepper. So, like, who are some of your influences? Because when I was, I sing, but I was in love with salt and pepper, right? Like, they were everything. So I was like, I want to do that. And then I remember writing like a song and the chorus. It was hilarious. But like, who are some of the people that influence you?
Sure. When I start to remember, right, Tupac did it for me, but I don't remember the story too well. My brother tells it. I was in the car. Tupac was playing. It was the On My Block record, and they were singing, and the kids were singing, and then he just started rapping, and I was like driving. We was in the van that didn't have no backseat. Like, it was fun.
I think we are one of them.
Playing, the sun shining, and I'm just lost in it. I'm like, wow. So I asked him, I'm like, how is he doing? Like, how's he making me feel this way? What's going on? And he started to explain to me what rap was and freestyle, and I was like, yeah. Like, and then he says, I just got lost in the moment, and I don't fully remember, but I know that soon after that, I wanted to write, I wanted to think out loud, and yeah, music.
I love it. So you write. You write your music?
Yeah. I love Jay-Z's flow, cadence. When we talk about rap music, I used to love TLC. Like,
yeah.
No Scrubs was crazy for me. Whatever. Me and my best friend used to walk through the Bronx just.
No Scrubs.
What else? Celia Cruz is amazing when we talk big music, fun. I love the drums, the heavy drums. Mark Anthony, the reggaeton. We got like the Daddy Yankees of the world, Nicky Jam. These are voices that have been around since way back.
Now, is your music influenced by the Latin culture? I mean, it's one thing to be Latin, but to be influenced by it, whether it be the cumbia, the congas, or the reggaeton, or the, you know what I'm saying? So how does that work? How does that fit in with your music?
Well, I think the Latin side of me is what explains like the heavy drums or the party, like me always saying, que siga la fiesta. Like, it's just, that's what, it's a party. Like, and I'm looking, like, I'm going to just throw it out there. Yesterday I was praying And I was like trying to figure it out. I'm like, why do I say que siga la fiesta? And God was like, well, this is what you're trying to say. That every single time somebody receives Jesus into the kingdom from what you do, you're saying, let the party in heaven keep going because we're going to keep bringing souls up. And I was like, I'm so down, Jesus. Like, he invited everybody to the party in heaven. Let's live this life. So that's the Latin for sure. Like, you know, we'll party for 12 hours. Just like, I'm tired. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Yeah. So are you essentially, were you going to ask something, Nay?
Not yet. Go ahead.
Are you essentially the first female MC signed to a major label as far as Christian rap is concerned, or was there one? Are you the second one?
I couldn't tell you the timeline, but I'm out loud. But I know that when mine happened, nobody else had it yet.
Okay,
that's dope.
Yeah, I'm just trying to place that together. I know it might have. I don't know if Butter P was actually signed to a major.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But that might be some good research, because then that becomes historical in the sense of the ground that you're paving for, the femcs of Christian hip hop. You know what I mean? We see with
everybody that's tried over the years has done something to push it forward and give us more voice. I think now there's a slew of women that are working in unity. Like, we're trying our best to love each other well, to be actual friends. And I think that's going to be the change, to start seeing way more femcs start to win in the Christian.
I think the change is going to come with the business part of it. Like, at the end of the day, it's going to be how you guys come together and formulate the business. Because I think what's happening is, in order for the movement to push forward, the business of it has to be understood to push forward. And I see it happening. You know what I'm saying? I see what you're doing. I see what Portia Love is doing, Wande is doing. Like, you got even AI the Anomaly. Like, you're doing something really extraordinary that is from a business standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're evolving the culture from that standpoint.
And you know what? I think that everybody you mentioned is doing it humbly. We're all like actually trying to figure it out. Like, what's the best real moves and how do we win? Like, and it's all forming in different facets, right? Like, AI is doing a lot of foundational stuff. She's helping the community in a really cool way. She has all these services she does in the community. I think Wande is doing it from a very she's killing it out loud, like social media. She's like learned to work the system and be her best self and influence the culture. Portia, same way. So much joy, so much love. Like, it's just, there's something interesting about, I think, what God is doing in this season.
And so what would you say about you? How are you influencing it?
I don't know. I'm just trying, right? I'm just trying to love. I think that's my goal. I want to see a culture of real love first formed in me and then spread, right? I want to learn how to do this. I want to be a friend. I want to teach and not feel like anybody can steal anything from me, right? We know how that happens. And it's like, you know what, God, if you're giving, then I will always have.
Right.
And that's the biggest win. So I guess I'm just trying to influence the culture in a way of doing your best at all times, being honest, being vulnerable, and trying to learn and teach.
Literally walk it out, right? Like, how to walk this out. I think is the main space that I see in you. You got a lot of joy too. I was like, this girl she happy. I love it. I think that because there's a couple of things that happened when I saw you, like the delivery as well as the I won't necessarily look like the content, because we know you're talking about Jesus, but I think the confidence space, right? And how you talk about relationship and how you talk about being like loved by him and loving on him, like everything is unto God and you dedicate it, like there's no guessing about who you're talking about and those kinds of things. And I think that's really important in this particular realm, because hip hop rules the world, really. We just happen to have this dichotomy or this space of, it being Christian, air quotes, and the message is different. And I think that there's just this, misconception of sharing and being respected in the space and all of these different things. So what's your heart about, like where you stand and what you do in the big scheme of things. You know what I mean? Because like I really believe like the CHH or the Christian part of hip hop is making huge moves, so much so that people have to respect it. I mean, we're everywhere now. It's like TV, movies, the games. It's literally moving itself in a space. I just really believe people's hearts and their minds are open about it. And I'm just like, what's your thoughts about that? Because one, you're like Nice said, one of the first females to be signed to a major label. They hear and understand that there's something to this, right? As it always has been, but now there's a better understanding, or I don't know, they see it marketable, whatever the case may be. But how do you feel about that? Like, this is a big thing that's happening.
So my heart, well, I don't know how to play small. Since I started, I didn't know, like it wasn't ego. It wasn't like, it was just like, oh, we're about to do music. So like at some point, arenas, at some point, like at some point, right? So I'm envisioning something like that, but I'm believing God for it, and and that if that I would have the character to maintain it. I envision being able to open up. I say it all the time, for like extremely secular artists, and having La Familia show up, prayed up, filled up. That the minute that I step on stage, the anointing fills the arena, and
The atmosphere change.
I want to see that happen. I believe for that. I believe that God can have a stadium of people that came high and drunk and whatever they were going through, on their knees accepting the King of Kings, but because of faith, because of love, because of hope, not because of religion or anything. That I want to see God show his face on earth, and I just want to be a part of that.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. I got a question. So let's get back to the music. What separates you from the rest of the artists? Like, are you musically inclined? Do you play piano, guitar, the flute, the harmonica? I don't know. I'm just,
I could
just
play
curious.
guitar.
I laugh because I played the flute.
I wish. I could play very little bit of a guitar, but I could hold down a good 3 notes to write. A little bit of piano. Percussion is kind of my baby. I'm not the best at any of it, but I'm gonna have fun with it, and it'll sound pretty good. And then we hand it over to the professionals. But yeah, no, the music is special. I think a short answer would be I'm not afraid to do all types of things. Like I'll do like a big Latin track. I'll do like a rap track straight up. I'll do a lo-fi joint. I'll do an R&B joint. I'll do I just love music. But I think there's a couple of us. I don't know. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's important to ask because, at the end of the day, I think the artists that stick around are those that have, independent creativity. You know what I mean? That don't sound like that don't sound like somebody but themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you think about, look at Lauryn Hill, like who sounds like Lauryn Hill? You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? So when you think of it from that standpoint, even Yo-Yo, like who sounds like Yo-Yo? Nobody. You know what I mean? When you think about it, or MC Light. So that's the you see, I just named 3 totally different people that nobody sounds like, but have been around for years. I mean, MC Light is still doing the Grammys. She's the announcer for the Grammys. Think about that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So in the next, let's say 5 years, where do you see yourself outside I know you said stadiums, arenas, but musically, where do you see yourself? Because you constantly evolving, and I hear your sound evolving. Eventually, where do you want to get to?
I got some prayers that I talk to God about often.
Okay.
So those I'm gonna hold that. Let me find a way to dilute that.
Do you see yourself like moving forward in the industry, or is it more ministerially?
So I would love to just actually have different genres, different sounds, all over the charts. I want to influence a generation with love. I want to make really great music, but I want it to be everywhere.
Do you see yourself as a label owner at one point?
Mhm.
If God will, I got some plans, but they're not focused there. It's like byproduct. Like it will be a byproduct of the other heart. I want orphanages around the world. Now, should those children grow up in the love of Christ and they end up wanting to change the world like that, well, then I would have to start a label.
That's what's up.
I think that's dope. You're definitely humble. Like your spirit is real. I don't want to say, I don't even know how to say it other than like laid back. But the gist of it is no limits is what Emily is sharing. Absolutely. Take the boundaries off, right? Like why do we, I guess, kind of put God in a box and be like, oh well, this part. But I also know that we have to have something that we're aspiring to. And so I guess that's what we're asking. So get this. You are the cover of this edition of RYZE Magazine. Did you know
No
that?
way.
Oh
That's,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So lit.
So what do you think about that?
That's huge. I'm grateful. That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, a cover story. Yeah, we're going to tell some more about you. So we definitely, we'll get into some of the particulars and even send you some questions just to make sure that we have, the meat and potatoes. But okay, so you started singing when you were 3, got into hip hop about 7. Now you killing the game, one of the first females to be signed to a label. Ultimately, like, what's next? Like, I understand you're creating music, right? Like, I get it. This is where you are right now. So are you working on a new album? Is it a single? Like, what's happening right
Yeah, and plus talk about all the collaborations that we see have been coming out, whether it be Danny Goki to I think you and Wande actually did a joint, and then you and GOM, like you on a move right now.
now? She's
I'm having
everywhere.
fun. So definitely, is it an album? I don't know yet. But I know there's something coming. There's a body of work on its way. And there's a lot more collaborations on the way. A lot more. I'm just having fun. Like I really am. And I'm inspired by a lot of people in this space. And I'm inspired by people generally, right? Like whether they even know the love of Jesus yet. If they're using what my God created, I'm allowed to be a fan of how they use it. And I'm allowed to want to influence and inspire. So those are I'm just with it. Like whatever doors God is opening, I'm just there for it. And like, all right, let's go. Let's try this out. And there's beautiful things on the way. So like, I can't tell some of the big ones, but I'm in the studio with a bunch of people. Mike Teasy. I'm always working with Avila. Who else we talking to? Poetics. I mentioned that. Maz Minnick. We gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
A cool artist named John Michael Howell. I found him recently. I've become a fan. I'm like, oh, his music's really good. So just hopping around and enjoying, and then the body of work will develop itself.
Got you.
Works for us.
And you're on a major label, so I know life's different, right? In a sense, is it? No,
No.
not at all.
Yeah, the major label, she is still, we still coming a long way within the majors. It's, they understand that this is important. It's just now a matter of how to influence, use the what they call the machine to influence.
Sure.
You
So
know what I mean?
what I can say is different is the conversations that I have access to a lot more often. Level of advice, practically, right? Business stuff, but like the meat and potatoes of what I've been gaining in my recent life is people that are actually really successful, that whether they're loud about it or quiet, they're successful. And they teach me and they give me cues and they give me advice on how to move. A lot of gems get tossed out because the conversations are quicker, especially if you're moving through a party or a room. But they're heavy, they speak with weight. And I appreciate that.
So, what's some of the advice, that you're getting or that you share with individuals who desire to get to the space you're in?
Well, something I hear often, and it's weighty, but it's simple, is be who you are. They were like, they consistently, I hear, stay who you are. let God, like whether they believe or not, they're like, no, like, how to explain it? I think for the most part, people believe. It's a beautiful thing to find, right? They just don't fully understand what they're believing, but they be like, no, God all day, like everywhere I go.
Right.
And so people always say it. They're like, let God, if you're believing in God the way that you are, then let God continue to be the light. People give good advice as far as that. They've taught me to be patient in making moves, to trust God. And like, well, maybe they don't say trust God, but I take that in. But patience, they're like the right time, the right things, move at the right time, the right things. I'm like, wow. And that's helped my mind a lot to learn to plan. It's helped me battle anxiety, learn to slow down and like, okay, hold on. I've got a lot of goals I want to achieve, a lot of things I want to do. What's the plan? How do I structure it and organize it? Because the people that are speaking to me are doing it, right? They're own multiple businesses, or they're whatever they may be doing. They're doing something worth looking at. And so it's helped me to, yeah. Anyway, I hope that answered it. That was a lot.
Walk it out. Helping you walk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I'm just like, I think we done probed her enough. You know what I mean? So,
No, tell me more.
yeah, I mean, we could have this conversation all day because of just her walk is amazing, and the stuff that you continue to do is amazing, and the fact that you just, like you're in Arizona right now. You know what I'm saying? Think like, you're from New York. You know what I mean? And you drove from LA, I take it, to Arizona. You know what I mean? So
Actually drove to LA from New York. I don't know. I bring my parents. So my parents are retired. The benefit of being the baby of 10 is they were old. When I was young, I didn't like it. Now I'm old. I'm like, yay, because I can bring them out as often as I want, or as God allows me. And we explore. So we drove from New York all the way to LA together. Me, my mom, and dad, just pushing through, trekking. We stopped for a couple nights, enjoyed it. I spent that time with them, and I'm grateful that that's a part
awesome.
of this blessing.
Did you go through the top of the United States or the bottom?
I don't know. I'm going now, though. I think I'm going through the bottom.
Yeah, because normally, like, if you came from New York, yeah, I was like, you go through
bottom.
You go through Oklahoma, you go through Kansas, Colorado.
I think that's how we came.
Right.
Yep. And
your mom was really cute.
This time.
I saw you with your mom for Doves, and you were like, "Mom, what are you?" I think she said saucy.
I'm dying.
Spicy. That's what she said.
Songs. I'm so spicy, and she didn't fully know what I meant, but now she says it all the time. She's like, spicy. Or my dad will say it. I'm like, this is happening.
Is there any tours or shows that we can look forward to? Kind of you moving around?
I'm waiting on an offer letter for one that I'm very, very excited about. I pray it happens. I'm waiting. I gotta wait. And then I'm working on another one to support men and women that are struggling with drug addiction.
That's dope.
I want to, the program that I found is called Victory Outreach. It's a ministry a lot of people know, but they have victory homes worldwide. And so I just want to kind of lock arms in some way with them and keep spreading the awareness of that movement.
Mm-hmm. And Summerfest in 22.
That part. Oh man,
yeah.
Crazy.
Look, and TBL just made. Where you at?
The TBL. We ain't even talked about that, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You made mention about arenas.
Oh, I'm gonna be in Rock the Universe, January 29th in Universal Studios. Yeah, those are things.
Okay. Well, like Nye said, I think we've probed you enough as well. We are certainly excited to have you as a cover. So you're joining AI, the Anomaly. She's the only other woman that we've ever showcased in the CHA. So I think this is a great lineup or a great follow-up to the ladies edition. We're calling it Film Something, but the women are just kind of killing right now in the 2021 season, right?
It's a win. It's up everywhere.
Well, now it's 3 covers because AI, the Anomaly, and then Wendy Day.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it.
Well,
Yeah.
Wendy's not Christian hip hop, but I
Yeah,
get
but
it.
it doesn't matter. She
Wendy is,
iconic.
yeah,
You know what I'm
she is very
saying? So the
iconic.
fact that
She's the killer in the game, period. Wendy's
yeah,
responsible for I won't say everybody, but a good deal of them. I mean,
yeah,
Eminem.
That's lit.
She's responsible for so many people. Master
yeah,
P,
yeah.
like she put them all on. The
And
money, Wayne,
That's
all of them.
that's an exclusive club to be AI, Wendy Day, and then yourself.
Yeah, that's
So I
right.
love it.
I'm with
Yeah.
it. God. So those are part of the prayers too. The United. So it will be United We Can, because that's the project that it was released around. It's just taken a while to set it up. So I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. It's gonna be called the United We Can. And praying on a couple people that could join. I got some ideas, but AI has been on the list for me for since the idea even was born.
Yeah.
Portia would be nice, but scheduling and everything gets difficult. But just La Familia is a real thing for me, and so I've been able to make real cool friends, and I want to, whenever we can, like woo, woo, woo.
Uh-huh.
That's what's up.
I love it too. And Portia's a part of this edition as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
lit.
Yeah, she's one of the stories as well.
That's
So excited to have you. Definitely looking forward to connecting with you and seeing you soon somewhere, right? Let us know. We're in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta. So
Oh, I
let
mean,
us know.
yeah. Okay. Oh, we have each other's info. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. All right, yeah. I'll
Let
be
me
there.
know when you're this way.
Yeah.
But certainly, okay, so we're gonna let you go, but can you do a drop for
Sure.
RYZE Magazine, right? MC Nice and I will back out and let you have your way. It's the magazine you're watching, RYZE. Tell them to go get it, right?
You like that magazine you're watching, RYZE?
No,
So
this
it's
is
RYZE
Angie Rose, and you watching RYZE
Oh,
Magazine.
like,
You know, like
really
the
watch
stuff
RYZE
you normally do, just
Magazine.
add RYZE Magazine to it.
All
Yeah,
right.
all right. So do you need us to count you in or out or any? We're gonna back out of the system, and then when you're by yourself,
I gotta do. Oh, I gotta do the drop live. Live in front of everybody. Okay.
Look, I told you this is behind the scenes. We are real people. I mess up all the time. I'm like, I don't even know my name and I own the company. Hello. So, no
Yeah.
worries.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Definitely. All right. So I'm gonna back myself out. Just count in. I'll count you like 5, 4, 3.
What's going on, familia? It's your girl Angie Rose, and you're watching RYZE Magazine. Keep it locked. Okay.
Don't appreciate you. And so definitely we're excited to have you and we will be in touch. See? Take care. All right. Bye-bye.